You are listening to the Co-Movement Gym podcast. The following is a conversation with Kennedy Narine. Kennedy is a senior crew member in Winter Park, Florida. The Winter Park crew team has competed for 60 years and has won 40 state championship titles and 9 national championships. Kennedy discovered crew as a freshman and is now entering her senior year. She is visiting colleges such as Harvard, Bucknell, Colgate, and more with hopes of continuing her crew career at the Division I level. Her work ethic and drive to push the limits of her potential are impressive to say the least, which is why I'm excited to be talking with her today. I would like to thank our sponsors, Native Path Supplements, Lombardi Chiropractic, Home Sweet Home Cleaning, and Thin Line Martial Arts. If you are enjoying this content, I ask that you support these companies in the description and take advantage of the enticing discount they're providing our listeners by using code COMO15. That's COMO15. I thank each and every one of you for being on this journey with us. Now, please enjoy the show. We are live here in the studio with Kennedy today. How you doing, Kennedy?
Good.
Awesome. Welcome to the podcast. So crew, the sport of crew, super awesome sport. I'm a huge fan. And can you explain to listeners what crew is?
Well, rowing. So there's boats as big as 8, and then singles with just one person. And usually you race like 2,000 meters in the spring, and it's just, rowing.
Okay, so that's the primary distance is 2,000 in the spring. Is there another season, fall or?
In the fall season, we'll do longer races that go to like 5,000 meters. Yeah.
Okay, wow. So the distances vary quite a bit then. Okay, awesome. What attracted you to the sport of crew? Why did you join it? It's very unique. It's not offered. I know like up here in New York, it's not offered by many schools at all. Why are you doing crew?
Well, I was just looking for a sport because I got bored of all the other ones I tried. So I tried crew and I loved it. I fell in love with the sport. My teammates were awesome. I just had so much fun, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. It's an individual sport, but it's a team sport mostly. Like it's extremely technical, and that's something that I learned through you was that like on the erg, you don't need to be that technical, right? Like almost anyone can erg. But when you're on that boat, there are so many factors that go into play, like going fast, and you're obviously breathing hard, and it's a very difficult sport, but you're excelling at it. So the race that you guys just won down in Tennessee, what was that? Was that nationals?
Scholastic Nationals. So it's all the schools that were top 3 in their state go to Scholastic Nationals. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you guys won that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In our V8 and 2V categories. So there's a whole bunch of categories, but the biggest are usually the V8 and 2V because they have the most points. So I won in those two.
Won by a lot.
Yeah, open water. So I think 7.5 seconds in both. Which it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot in crew.
Oh, it's a lot in crew. Yeah. I watched the race on the phone, and it was spectacular to see. It was like, how many boat lengths was it?
3, I think.
3 boat lengths.
Something like that.
Was it 2,000? Was that a 2,000?
1,500.
1,500. Yeah. Okay. It was spectacular. You absolutely destroyed the competition. I'm interested to talk about, because this is a fitness podcast and health podcast, like what does an average week of training look like for you?
Yeah. So it stays pretty much the same through the whole year since we live in Florida. So we don't have like the tough winters. So we'll do we practice for 6 days a week. So we'll do like Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday on the erg. So it'll be like erg, half weights. And then Thursday again will be like half erg, half weights. And then Wednesday we'll row and then come in and erg. And then the rest of the days we go out on the water. We start with like a warm up, some drills, and then we'll do pieces depending on what we're training for.
Okay. So like, let's talk about like a Monday. I know the volume is quite high.
Mhm.
Like how many hours in an average day?
2.5.
2.5 of
Yeah.
training.
Yeah. We start every day with a run
How
down,
long?
just a mile.
Okay.
And then some days we'll do longer runs depending on what coach
Mhm.
thinks, because to build up cardio.
So 2.5 hours of training,
Saturday is 3.
3 hours of
3.5.
training. Okay. And
Yeah.
this is Monday through Friday, or do you have
Mhm.
Wednesday rest? What
Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday? No
Yeah.
rest days.
At the beginning of the season, we'll rest on Wednesdays just to get everybody warmed up into the season after summer. And then after like a couple months, 2, 3 maybe, then we'll take out Wednesdays and we'll start practicing on Wednesdays.
Wow, 6 days a week, 2.5 to 3 hours of practice. So for
Mhm.
people listening, that's about 15 to 18 hours a week that you're practicing. Plus, you're a full-time student.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So do you have practice? It's after school primarily, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever have practice before school or
Well, we do. We recently started doing workouts before school and then going to practice after school, just to, if you want to get better on the erg, get some extra stuff in. And it really does help.
yeah, sure,
Mhm.
added volume. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Have you seen strength training play a positive part in getting better at rowing?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Before, when I first started, we didn't have a strength coach, so we kind of just did the same movements over and over, which
Mhm.
helped. But after we got a strength coach, I got stronger in like more different areas, and and like I could add more weight and see that I was actually like progressing.
Okay, so it did correlate then back and
Yeah.
forth. Yeah. It's funny, I just had a consultation with a new client before you came, and he's a runner. And strength training seems to benefit almost anything
Yeah.
that you do. Because the crew's an aerobic sport, but if
Mhm.
you're stronger pulling, then you're probably better at crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool that you've seen that. And this was the first year, your junior year, that they hired that strength coach.
Hmm.
Yeah, and before it was unstructured
Yeah.
somewhat. Yeah.
We still did strength training, but we just kind of did the same exercises over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
How much running do you do in a week during, like, let's say, like, I don't know, off season and then in season?
Off season, we usually will just do the mile to practice and then mile back.
Mm.
And then once we start like trying to build up cardio for our races, especially for the longer races, we will start doing like 3-mile runs every like Wednesday and Friday or something like that.
Okay.
And then um once in a while we'll do like 5 miles depending on where we are
Mhm.
in the season. Usually once we get later in the season, we'll start doing something like that once a week.
Okay, to mix it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
And sometimes
Okay.
we'll have timed runs just to test our fitness.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What was your mile time last year? Do you remember?
Uh I have no
You
clue.
don't know? Was
No.
it under 8 minutes?
Probably not. Not for
No,
a long run.
not for a
I've
long
never
run.
done just 1 mile
Okay.
time, so
Sure, sure, sure. Okay. Yeah, no, that is very, very cool. When you guys are in the home stretch of a race, I know that like me and you did a 2K the other day
mhm,
for fun. We did a time trial. It's a painful sport.
definitely.
Okay. And this is something a lot of people probably just don't experience. Like, what do you tell yourself when your body is like on that home stretch? It's like fly and die.
Mhm.
What are you saying to yourself? Like, do you have any kind of like mental peace there?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank goodness for coxswains because I
Uh,
don't know what I'd do
Tell
without
the
them.
listeners what that is.
So the coxswain sits in the front of the boat. They steer the boat and they also have a speaker that's connected to every other seat. So everyone throughout the boat can hear them. And the whole time they just are like yelling motivation, telling us when to make moves, telling us like what rate we're at, what split we're at. And their whole thing is just to keep us motivated throughout the whole race.
Mhm.
And they're awesome. But in the end, in the last 500, we'll do like a
Black,
sprint and then a
blackout.
blackout. So
Yes.
in blackout, that's like the last like 250. And basically that's just drain everything we have, just go all out. So you'll see the rate jump like who even knows, like 5 beats.
The stroke rate.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
so an
stroke rate.
average stroke rate maybe would be 30?
38.
38.
Yeah,
And then you
in the spring
jump to
season.
43 or so.
Yeah, probably some 40, 42
You
maybe.
just
We
lay it
just kinda
down.
yeah, we don't even know. We just start whatever our stroke seat does, we all just follow her.
Right.
And so we just go as high as we can and just try to get as much open water in the last
Yeah, yeah.
level.
Now, how do you say it, coxswain?
Yeah.
Okay. There's speakers throughout the boat so you can
Mhm.
hear
Every
her?
other seat, and then she can
Okay.
turn up or lower the volume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's, what I've learned is that's a super technical
Mhm.
position. It's not just, "Let's go
Yeah,
team."
no.
It's, like, way beyond that.
Mhm.
It's, stroke rate and I don't even know, but
Also, yeah,
there's a lot to it,
part
right?
of the things like telling if somebody's out of time because they're the only ones who can see every blade.
Sure.
So throughout the race, they're telling us whatever seat you're early, whatever seat you're late, just to make sure that we're all perfectly in sync.
So, like, when your body is screaming, like, "I wanna slow down," what do you say? Like, what do you tell yourself?
All
Anything?
these other girls in the boat, I can't let them down. Also, I'm a sore loser, so
Yeah, well, I know that. We played mini golf before. For people listening, Kennedy's my cousin, so,
Mhm,
um, yeah, no, that's, you can't let them down. Yeah.
mhm,
So then there's a difference then with an erg
mhm.
versus the boat, right?
Yeah.
Like, and is it harder on the erg because you're by yourself? You're sort of suffering by
The
yourself?
mental game is definitely harder on the erg
Okay.
because you're by yourself, and when you're on the water, you can feel every time somebody like slows down or stops
Really?
pulling. Yeah, you can feel everything.
Okay.
In the erg, you're just kind of by yourself. You don't have that feeling of everybody else with you, so it's a lot
Mhm.
harder.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm,
I know, yeah, when I would compete in CrossFit and do different things, I've done a lot of 2K and 5K rows. It's hard. Your body, like halfway through,
mhm,
is like, slow down, slow down. But like you said, when it's a team sport, you can't let them down. So
mhm.
you have
More
to.
open. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. Let's blow them away. Ready? We are almost entering the last 500. We need to keep our heads in the boat. We need to sustain this pressure, sustain the push. Now, ready? The spotlight is on you. The spotlight is here. On 2, we are building into the last 500. 1, 2, now, no regrets. We're not building the rate up right now. We are building on the legs. Ready? Nothing after this, nothing to lose. Let's keep it all in here. Ready? Everything you have, we are leaving it on this course. Ready? We are here to dominate every course that we are on. Every one of them. Move it now. Ready? Next 5 strokes are for the seniors. This is their last season.
Here.
Last one here. Boom! We passed 1,000 ladies. Ready? Boom! 10 strokes till the last 50. Here you go. Keep our eyes in the boat. Boom! Take 2, then we are sprinting. 1 and 2, now. Move it. 5, build. 4, now. 3, push it. 2, 1, we passed 250. On 2, blacking out. That's 1, 2, now. Black out. Now. Ready? Now. Boom! We want more meters on them. That is what we can take. We want to take everything we can get from them. Now! Ready? Leave it on this course. Now! Finish it! Finish it! Ready? On the legs. Let's do this together. Let's finish this. Boom! There you go! Now! Now! We have the less than 10. Now! Ready? Boom! We're in it together. We're finishing together. We are fighting it out till the last stroke here. Now! Ready? There you go. That's 3 strokes. 2 and paddle!
Cool. Because that like brings me to tears almost. I don't think people
I can also
realize because that last, well, all of it's insane, but like that last like minute or two
Mhm.
is like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it is intense. So what at the end, what percentage of girls puke? Do a bunch
Not
of you or not
many.
many? No,
Not
is it
many.
because you're so
Most of the time,
conditioned?
yeah.
Yeah,
And most of the time we're just like um too excited and stuff. But
sure.
a lot of the times we go places where the air is a lot thinner than in Florida.
Mhm.
So we do end up like coughing a lot. Like it's a lot harder to breathe. I remember after my race at nationals, my chest hurt for like an hour.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, like, I wonder, so is there a period of time like you get out of the boat where you have to like lay down and you're so locked up with
Yeah.
lactic acid?
Yeah. My legs are always like shaking. I
Yes.
think the adrenaline from the race also helps so that I can like, because we all have to walk, put our boat up, and then we
Okay.
can chill out for a while. But
Something I think about with your races a lot is because the number of 2Ks I've done, I am a pile after, like all out. Like
yeah.
I am like I'm talking sometimes like 30-minute recovery.
Mhm.
Like you said, the coughing, my legs are not functioning well. It's like not good. But with you guys, you got to pedal back to shore, get the boat out, you're
Yeah.
excited. So like it's almost like an active recovery. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, we have a minute when we cross the finish line, a couple minutes to sit and like recover
Oh,
from the
sure.
race. And then we take turns paddling in. So we'll go by sixes. So every couple strokes, we'll drop out a pair so they get a chance to sit. And our coxswain brings water and cough drops or whatever we need for after the race. So
Okay. Do you ever have to do more than one race at a time? Like
in a day.
yeah, in a day.
Yeah. Well, the first day will usually just be one race. And then the second day, if there's enough people, you'll do a semifinal and then a final.
How is that? Like mentally? That's be hard to get amped up
Yeah.
twice or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I get everybody just kind of wants to win. So plus regattas are so much fun because there's so many teams there and everybody is excited and wants to do well. So
Sure.
and we love racing. So
What you're speaking to is so cool. You just like the competition.
yeah.
And you just like that environment. Like you just like that as
Yeah.
a piece. Yeah. No, that would be yeah, I could understand that for sure. Yeah, you guys are fully in that. When you're building up to the start of the race, you're sitting out there, it's peaceful. Like, is there a mantra, like a team mantra,
Yeah.
or like what? Tell me about that.
Well, we all in my boat, we always do a handshake throughout the boat. So we pass it down
Okay.
and then we kind of just talk to each other because we're all so nervous.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like I know like we paddle into a warm-up area and then we warm up for a couple minutes, like up to like 30 minutes,
Okay.
just warming up. So our stomachs are like churning because we're so nervous.
Sure.
And then we'll line up and go into the racing area and you have to it's hard to get lined up because the boats are so big.
Yes.
And so there's something called a stake boat holder, and each boat has a lane and somebody to hold the boat before the start.
Okay.
So we'll sit there for like 2 minutes. Yeah, it is. And we're just waiting. We have to keep like paddling to make sure we stay straight.
Okay.
And then we go up to like 3/4 to start our start. And then, yeah, once we start, it's not as nerve-wracking.
I agree. I agree totally. Like I'm doing a mini triathlon tomorrow north, and I think the hardest part. This isn't like a nerve-wracking race for me; it's for fun. But like, the hard part is before.
Yeah.
As soon as you're in that groove, like you're on it. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, and you do a handshake. Anything that you guys say?
No, we
No?
just kind of talk to each other, like motivate each other.
Okay.
Our coxswain will remind us things like to just anything that we are some of our flaws or whatever, just
Yeah.
to keep our head in the game. You
Sure. So you have to have like a really high level of respect for your coxswain.
know? Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Well, we wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Okay.
I like racing in a small boat. You sometimes don't have a coxswain, and so the quiet is just it's so hard to stay motivated. Yeah, and the coxswain just keeps us motivated the whole time in a race. I'm listening to her voice and everything she says. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Can you give listeners an idea of the volume of rowing in an average training day? Like, give me a workout. Like, just tell me a random workout.
On the water or on
No,
land?
on the erg.
Okay,
Like,
well,
if you were to coach me today, like, and I was like super fit, like your team, like, what would you
yeah.
have me do?
So for the first hour, we'll usually start on the erg. So let's say we did like 6 by 7 minutes. We'll do 3 7-minute pieces on the erg and then 3 7-minute pieces on the bike. And then
Okay.
we'll have a set number of splits. So all of us have a 2K, a gold medal standard. And that gold medal standard is 100 watts above our weight. And then we'll usually be told to go +5, +7, whatever it is. And then we have to go that many splits above on the piece.
Mhm.
So we just have to try to hit our splits on every piece. And then we'll do the bike for half. And then we'll go into the weight room and whatever our strength coach does, sometimes we'll usually do upper body because the erg's a lot harder and bike is a lot harder on the lower body.
Yes.
So we'll do like shoulder press, things like that.
So that piece you were talking about with the pacing, so the gold medal standard, let's say it's a 155, and then but it's a +5 for that day for the 3 sets of 7 minutes of rowing. For 7 minutes you would hold a 2-minute.
Well, usually yes, but usually we do like one piece is +5, one piece is +7, one piece is +9, something like that.
Yes, it changes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a rest between those sevens? I know this is random, but like,
Depends on the season.
okay.
But in the summer, since it's like 90 degrees, we'll usually have like a couple minutes. So like 3, something like that.
Okay, yeah, 3 minutes.
Just depends on what coach says.
Yeah, so it's 21 minutes rowing reasonably fast, plus the spin, plus the run there, plus the run home, and that's one day, plus strength training.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. All right. So your coach at Winter Park is known throughout the United States as one of the best crew coaches. Yeah. What do you think makes him so good at producing winning teams every year?
Well, his focus is a lot of the time on the water is technique. Also, fitness, which gets us very far, but the technique is like the basics because when everybody has good technique, the boat can go so much faster. When the boat's set, when everybody's in time, when everybody's doing the same stroke, it helps the speed so much. And then he puts a lot of emphasis on fitness and like sleep, rest, and eating, things like that keep us going
It
fast.
brings it all together. Yeah.
And everybody has so much respect for him. We just do whatever he
Yeah,
says.
for sure. One thing you've mentioned to me a while back is exactly what you just said. He does emphasize proper technique, which technique is speed, right? But then also he cares about your eating, your lifestyle, your sleep. You were saying that like when you're out of town and stuff, like he's pretty on top of, your nutrition.
Like we'll send our workouts if we, for some reason, miss a practice, which most times we don't. But if you need to miss practice, you send your workout, or even if we have a day off, most of us will make up a workout and send it to him.
Does he ever yell?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
It's
Okay, because I know some people don't.
Yeah, when we're on the water, he has to go on a motorboat. It's called the launch.
Yep.
And so he has to yell for us to hear him because he can't get very close to the boat.
Sure.
Our oars are so long. So he's just always yelling, but for us to hear him, and it definitely helps us because he always has something to make sure we're being better rowers.
Do you get practice like you're in the weight room or like erging and like the team slacking overall? Like, does he ever like blow up, or don't you slack? Like,
nobody really slacks. Everybody's so dedicated to the sport for the most part.
Sure.
That we're all just trying to do the best we can for our teammates too. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I found it very interesting, and the listeners will too. Your boats, how much do those cost?
Oh, I don't even know. Couple thousand for sure.
Well, yeah, from what I've read, and maybe someone will correct me,
Um,
but I think it's like 60 to 80,000.
yeah, probably something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty
We do
sure
a lot
that's
to get new boats, new oars.
yeah, they're like super custom,
Mhm.
very high end. Yeah, again, if I'm wrong on that, someone can reach out and correct me, but I think I was told or I read somewhere it was like 60 to 80,000 a boat.
Because there's new like materials coming out. So now a lot of the time we started having metal riggers. Now a lot of boats have carbon fiber riggers.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you don't want one of those to fall off a vehicle.
Yeah.
What does catching a crab mean?
Oh, okay. Well, this happens a lot, but sometimes it can be worse than others.
Mhm.
With my freshman year, I caught a crab and got a
I
concussion.
remember. I
So
remember it was like yesterday.
yeah, but basically, if this can happen a lot of different ways, but um, if somebody is out of time or catching before the other people in the boat, um, the blade can get stuck in the water. So when everybody else takes a stroke, it kind of just swings forward and you have like no control. So it goes over your head or hits you. Yeah. It can be really
The oar,
yeah.
like blasts you in the face or the chest,
Yeah.
or maybe it'll go over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do people fall out of the boat?
Yeah. If you look on YouTube, there's a lot of videos of people catching crabs and falling out of the boat or yeah. So
I'll have to check that
yeah.
out. I can only imagine that could be painful. Like you got smashed in the head, right?
Well, it hit me in the chest and I
Okay.
fell back and hit the rigger behind me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't remember a lot of it, but
I know. I remember
remember
you
it
had
was
to
painful.
you had to sit in like a dark room
Yeah,
for like 4 days, or it was so odd. Like we
yeah,
came and visited you.
yeah, it was
Yeah. Well, it's
crazy.
glad that doesn't happen a lot to
Yeah,
people. All right. So after your senior year at Winter Park, which is this coming up year, what are your plans or goals?
rowing college for
Mhm.
sure, because I don't know what I'd do without rowing, and start going to a pre-med program, go to medical school, become a doctor,
Okay. What kind of doctor?
surgeon.
Really?
Yeah,
Like what? Like heart
trauma
or
surgeon probably. That's
really
my
like gunshot wounds and
right
stuff?
now, things like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Where do you see yourself maybe settling down? Like we talked about this before, like cold weather, Four Seasons,
Mm,
Florida, like Texas.
I am not a big fan of the heat, so
Okay.
definitely somewhere up in the Northeast, probably.
Okay, near us.
Yeah, and I like the Four Seasons, so probably something like that. And
Okay.
I could also see myself like assistant coaching one day. So
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, you would make a very good coach. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Let's finish up with some cool statistics because people are a lot of them, especially people that row
Mhm.
in this community and listening, are numbers based, like with splits and time stuff. So can you give some times to shoot for? Let's say there's a high school female that's a rower. She wants to get into D1. Give them a 2K goal.
So depending on what weight class they are, so a
Mhm.
lightweight will usually be their goal will probably be 730 or sub.
Okay, so
And
730 and
then
lightweight being how much? 130 under?
130, yeah.
130 and under pounds.
Um,
730 and under for
yeah,
a 2K
730
row.
sub. Yeah,
Right. How about a heavyweight?
probably sub 720,
S-
720 or
Sub 720 on a 2K.
yeah.
Okay, so for people listening that fall into that category, there you go. High school male wants to get into D1.
Mm.
I looked this up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so under 160, I think it was. Yeah, because I was thinking about myself because I'm like
Mhm.
170. So like 160, it was 640s for a 2K row. And then heavyweight was 630s. Okay. So for listeners, if you are lightweight, under 160, 640s, and then over 160, it was 630s. And you can get into D1.
Mhm.
All right, D3, do you know how much it
No,
changes? No, I
no.
don't either. I didn't look into
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right. And then how about I'd be curious, and you can just spit out anything, but like an average adult male on a 2K, let's take a 40-year-old like myself, that's
Mhm.
not even like super fit, but like average. Like what do you think a 40-year-old male should be able to do a 2K in? What do you think? There's no right or wrong answer.
Probably like 7:30.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
7:30. Yeah, sub 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I agree with that. 7:30. So what's that for a split? That would be
52 probably.
yeah. Well, no, 155 would be 7:20. So one, right?
No, 155 is like 7:40. I think.
Okay, so 2 is 8.
Yeah.
So 155 would knock off 20. Yeah, 740. Yes. So what did you say? 152? I think you're
Yeah.
right. 152. All right. So for an average male on the street or someone listening to that, Kennedy and I agree, a 730. Okay. So get there. That's a 152 average approximately. How about a female? What do you think? Where should they be?
Wait.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do the same thing. Like let's go
Probably 8
light
flat.
8 flat for lightweight. Anyone.
Like
Okay.
40. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I agree. And that's cool. I've coached a bunch of clients to that. And yeah, 8, I agree with 8 to 8:30, I think is respectable for those times. So, okay, cool. Well, we'll wrap this up. We're a half hour in. It's good information. Any questions for me or any motivation for people out there?
Try crew because a lot of people don't do crew, but you'll fall in love with it. I'm convinced everybody will.
Awesome. Well, Kennedy, thanks for the time and the inspiration, and we'll talk to you soon. One last message. I ask that you please check out our show sponsors, Lombardi Chiropractic, Home Sweet Home Cleaning, Native Path Supplements, and Thin Line Martial Arts. Their links are in the description. Not only do these companies produce outstanding products and services, but they are providing an enticing discount to all listeners who use the code COMO15. That's COMO15 at checkout or when you give them a call.